Good morning and welcome to our continuing series, Interviews with Disciples and Devotees. Today, again, we are happy to have with us Dr. Pachegaonkar. Namaste. Sir. Today's talk will be on breath. And there are so many aspects to breath. For example, as singers, we study breath in a certain way. Then there is also pranayam. And I would like to see from homeopathic point of view what your views are on breath.
In our lifestyle, breathing is the most important aspect because everyone is breathing on an average like 15 to 16 cycles per minute. So definitely it's a vital area. On an average, we inhale and exhale about 500 ml of air in each cycle. Whereas the capacity of lungs, if it is full, it can contain 5 liters of air when it is exploited fully.
Yes.
In this, around 1000 ml is residual air in our alveoli tissue, lungs. So, on an average, we take 500 ml, means totally it becomes 1500 ml, and 500 ml we go on exchanging in inhale and exhale. So, if one has cultivated the deep breathing pattern, our lungs can accommodate more air, and if we breathe properly, 4 times more volume of air can be circulated easily. And that helps in circulation. Not only that, it helps in calming down our mind, because breath is directly related to our emotional and intellectual functioning. You can experience, like if you are anxious, you are having some fear,
Short breath.
so you start breathing fast.
Yes.
So the cycles, you have like 25-30 cycles per minute. So you start having shallow breathing when you are anxious. At the same time, when you have a cultivated deep breath, your mind can control itself well. It is the other way also.
I have practiced 4 to 5 breaths per minute. Is that
Yeah. If it is on an average below 4,
below 4 even?
so like up to 4, below
Up to
4,
4. Okay.
4 cycles per minute,
Yes.
you are in a very close connection with the higher intelligence. Like if you are like having 4 cycles per minute or even larger than that cycle, beyond like 5 minutes consistently, then you get a very well connected with the higher intelligence. That it gives wonderful tranquility. And there are people like who cannot sleep for a long time. They can't afford to sleep for a long time because of their occupation. They even cultivate this type of breathing where they get very good respite and benefit. So actually, it is the BMI also is reduced. The tranquility level is very good, and your body can get energy recharged very nicely, efficiently with that.
Interesting.
Generally, what we do is we advocate patients to practice deep breathing exercises for 10 to 15 minutes in morning and 10 to 15 minutes in the evening. And later on, they cultivate this pattern of breathing for whole day, as long as it is possible.
And it becomes more natural to do it.
More natural, more recharging, then tranquility comes, and persons are not susceptible to stress, mainly. It's very simple to practice. First of all, we advocate that you should have sort of a what we call diaphragmatic breathing, where abdomen should protrude out while inhaling and it should be retracted when you are exhaling.
It's exactly what we do in music.
Exactly.
We teach this in
Yes,
singing.
yes.
Same thing.
So
yes.
here, what we advocate is one should take an effort to empty, create more space, so that inhalation goes easier. It's like a spring action. You create a vacuum by exhaling efficiently, and then inhalation goes easier because you have created space in the lungs. So we always tell, if especially people coming with shallow breathing, we tell them don't take effort to breathe in. Rather, you concentrate on exhaling completely during exhalation, and the vacuum helps. And in very simple term, we just demonstrate. Like, and one more thing is inhalation has to be through nose, because nose has wonderful filters.
Very
And
interesting.
it warms the air before it enters the lungs. So inhalation has to be through nose. Exhalation can be either way. It shouldn't matter.
See, with us in music, it is always through the nose. It must be because we'll be
Inhalation.
singing.
Correct.
Can't use the mouth.
Correct.
The other thing is that, for example, my teacher, my voice teacher, when I held a note, she would say, "When you are finished, I want your diaphragm to touch your spine."
Retracted. Yes.
Yes. So this is very, very interesting for me to hear.
So we just demonstrate. I can just show you
Yeah,
like
please.
how 2 cycles can be.
Good.
See.
Good.
So this type of breathing helps in attaining the tranquility. It keeps you balanced wonderfully well. So this can be cultivated by everyone. We chant Om for this reason, that it gives wonderful rhythm and concentration. So in like first half we say Om where we exhale through mouth, and the next half we shut our mouth and exhale through nose. And we try to empty everything, so that in this type of breathing we can circulate 1500 ml of air with this. So it is almost like 3 to 4 times more than normal breath. So your tiredness goes off, your mind also starts concentrating on the actual work, you are focused and you are not stressed.
How does it relate to pranayam?
Pranayam is again what we call, it is more controlled, where what we call breathing rate, like inhalation and exhalation, it can be, of course there are varieties of pranayam.
Yes.
In that the most simple one is like breathing 1:2. First of all, we advise patients to practice 1:2 cycle. Like suppose one is inhaling in 3 seconds, then you exhale in 6 seconds.
Right.
Then one can reach up to 1:8. 1:8, which on an average can be like 41 seconds for one cycle. That is ideal. So if one is able to practice like one cycle 41 seconds, in that 1:8, like you inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 8 seconds.
No, 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
40
Yes,
seconds.
yes.
That becomes the best breathing. So that another thing is, there is anulom vilom like. Like you breathe in from one nostril and exhale from the other, then exhale from the other one, inhale from the other one, and then so alternating it goes. And there also much concentration is there.
How does that? How is that understood medically from the nostrils?
First of all, in given time, in every person, both the nostrils are the patency level is not same. It may alter depending upon your position or respite. So both nostrils will not be equally patent in given time. And it may even change. Sometimes my left nostril is inhaling more air,
Yes,
whereas
we find that all the time.
yes, and this
yes.
happens with
Yes,
everyone.
Yes.
So what we do is, by concentrating on which nostril you are breathing in and breathing out, that gives wonderful, your mind also is focused on that. Your mind is focused on that.
Yes.
Second thing is, it's an exercise for the body to utilize that applicability. So therefore it helps. It is indirectly deep breathing also, it is controlled breathing also, plus you are fully concentrated in it. So definitely energy levels are much better in that. Actually, we are trying this type of breathing in the patients of even diabetes and thyroid, hypothyroid phenomena, even hypertension. Only patients with like transient hypertension, essential hypertension, we ask them to have this type of breathing where they exhale completely and then inhale easily. Their blood pressure levels come down within 10 minutes. We just scale the blood pressure and ask them to practice this type of breathing, and we check. It comes down even more than 10 mm without any medicine. So much connected it is.
So, in this breathing, you say that so many ml of air is retained. Now, that air gets exchanged also when you
Yes.
breathe properly.
Correct.
But if you don't breathe properly and are only taking short breaths 15 times a minute, does that air stagnate, if you will? I don't know that's the correct term.
Of course, what happens when you inhale and there is residual air, because the whole lung alveoli are not collapsed when you exhale. There is residual air. But by diffusion, the air gets mixed with the residual air.
Okay.
It is not that like shallow breathing, we inhale and same air is exhaled. It gets diffused and mixed with the residual air.
Okay.
That definitely happens. But see the proportion, no? Like when we are inhaling and exhaling 500 ml of air in each cycle, and say 1000 ml is residual. So every time only 1/3 air is fresh,
Yes.
and 2/3 air is same.
Yes.
Whereas if you are able to make residual volume little lower, like say 400 ml or 500 ml.
That was my question, yeah.
So
Yes.
there what happens that you are inhaling 1000 ml. So 400 ml is the residual used air, what we call deoxygenated air, and 1000 ml you are having fresh air with full of oxygen. So definitely the efficiency of breathing would be 5 times more if you are having just double volume. So instead of 500 ml circulating, if it is 1000 ml, it is like this. So initially 2/3 is the deoxygenated air. Now it is only 1/3. So much effective it is.
I see.
So you start feeling fresh within few minutes if you are having deep breathing. Plus it helps you in the mind. The best tranquility, the best grounded you get, more focused you are when you have a deep breathing. See, There is a respiratory center in our brain. It is not that just like that you start breathing. Of that respiratory center analyzes the level of oxygen, the contents of blood, and based on that, your breathing is regulated. Like you are running, you are exerting, suddenly there is exertion, and circulation is faster, the requirement is more. Definitely, your respiratory center is stimulated and you start breathing fast. So when you exert, like you climb up very fast, like 3-4 stories of building, everyone starts getting the deep breathing naturally.
Yes.
Because the respiratory center regulates it on regular basis based on the requirement of oxygen or oxygenation.
Now, this is something my teacher, my music teacher told me, my voice teacher, and I wanted to see what you feel. When she said, when you do not breathe properly, only this part of the lung is being filled, and you're not filling the larger cavity of the lungs. Is that?
So we are not using the vital capacity of the lung.
Okay.
We are not using the vital capacity, and because of shallow breathing, even the mind, even the respiratory center in the brain also maintains that need, because that oxygen level, oxygenation has to be maintained. So definitely your tranquility level comes down. But when you exploit larger capacity, vital capacity, definitely there would be a silence and at mind level.
And when I'm teaching voice, I often give the example of looking at a little baby sleeping on its side.
Exactly. That is typical abdominal breathing. We demonstrate exactly same thing. See, breathing is something which is almost involuntary.
Yeah.
It's a innate art body has acquired. It's God gifted. So the children, especially when they are asleep and good tranquility is there, that time their breathing pattern is definitely diaphragmic. The abdomen bloats out while breathing in,
Yeah. Yeah.
and while exhaling it is retracted.
Yes.
This is how we demonstrate actually.
Okay.
Even the baby, suppose, is having some dream, and in dream there is some turmoil and some agitated dream, the breathing pattern
I
changes.
see.
So it's directly related to
Okay.
that.
Well, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. I think a lot of people will benefit from this.
Yes,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you, sir.